Chandrapuram Punnuswamy Radhakrishnan is the NDA's candidate for the post of Vice President.
हमारे महाराष्ट्र के राज्यपाल श्री CP राधाकृष्णन जी, चंद्रपुरम पुन्नास्वामी राधाकृष्णन जी, उनको हम NDA का प्रत्याशी बनाएंगे।
Nearly 1 month after Jagdeep Dhankar resigned from the post, the incumbent Maharashtra governor has been picked as the ruling alliance's candidate for the job. The two-time member of parliament from Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore, former BJP state president CP Radhakrishnan's elevation is very significant and comes at a crucial juncture. After the drama surrounding Jagdeep Dhankar's exit, Radhakrishnan's long association with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, the parent body of the ruling BJP, is back in focus. Unlike the previous vice president, who was not a Swayamsevak and was seen by many in the BJP as an outsider, Radhakrishnan is part of the Sangh Parivar. And so for many, ideologically the Saffron Party's pick is poles apart from his predecessor.
We all know that Mr. CP Radhakrishnan has a background of RSS and he proudly wears that RSS badge.
This big announcement also came just 2 days after Prime Minister Narendra Modi from the ramparts of Red Fort hailed the RSS and its services to the nation.
सेवा, समर्पण, संगठन और अप्रतिम अनुशासन ये जिसकी पहचान रही है, ऐसा राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ दुनिया का ये सबसे बड़ा NGO है। एक प्रकार से 100 साल का उसका समर्पण का इतिहास है।
With this move, the Saffron camp has seemingly once again silenced the critics amid alleged reports of a rift between the BJP and RSS. It also comes with elections in Tamil Nadu scheduled next year. And that brings us to the key questions. Are there any differences between the BJP and its ideological parent at all? Is all really well between the two? While the top guns in both the organizations have always refuted such reports, how did these reports of the so-called rift between the two emerge? With CP Radhakrishnan's selection, many would say RSS is back in the game. But we ask, was it ever out of it? What is the link of 2024 Lok Sabha election to this discord? Let's understand. On July 21, as soon as the monsoon session of the parliament began, a bombshell was dropped. In a sudden move, the then Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar stepped down from his post, citing health issues. Since then, the post remained vacant and the entire parliament session was chaired by Deputy Speaker Harivansh. On August 17, the National Democratic Alliance led by the BJP announced its vice presidential candidate. The selection of former BJP Tamil Nadu president is a significant one and hints at a conciliatory step. Like PM Modi, CP Radhakrishnan, who is serving as the governor of Maharashtra and Telangana, is a long-time pracharak of the RSS. At the age of 17, he joined the Shakha and rose through the ranks and became a prominent face of the Sangh in the southern state. In the run-up to the Lok Sabha elections 2024, the BJP National President JP Nadda reportedly said that the BJP is capable of functioning on its own, a remark that sparked a widespread controversy. India parties grabbed the opportunity with both the hands and tried to exploit the alleged growing differences between the two.
तो आरएसएस को भी नकली आरएसएस कह देंगे कल उठकर, और मुझे तो अभी आरएसएस को खतरा महसूस हो रहा है मुझे, क्योंकि आरएसएस को वो उसके ऊपर वो बंदी लगाएंगे.
Several political observers claimed that BJP failed to secure a majority in Lok Sabha on its own because of this friction between the party and its ideological parent. Things turned ugly after senior RSS leader Indresh Kumar attributed BJP's lackluster performance to its arrogance. Meanwhile, the top guns continued to maintain Sab Changasi. It must be noted that RSS is not a political entity in itself, instead backing the BJP as its arm. Soon after the Lok Sabha polls, the Saffron Party began to introspect. A seeming course correction was undertaken and its results started to reflect in the subsequent assembly polls. In states like Maharashtra, where BJP pulled off in style, the RSS played a pivotal role. Extensive groundwork by RSS, which included mobilizing voters of both urban and rural regions, worked in BJP's favor. All 35 outfits linked to RSS jumped into action and extensively campaigned door to door to tilt the wave in Mahayuti's favor. Similarly, in Delhi elections as well, the parent organization of the BJP played a crucial role in unseating the Aam Aadmi Party, turning around Kejriwal's tactics by once again going door to door. The network of RSS shakhas provide the BJP with an ever-ready election campaign machinery. In March this year, PM Modi visited the RSS headquarters in Nagpur for the first time in 11 years since he assumed office in 2014. Analysts saw the move as an attempt to trash reports of differences between the two sides. And now, he has acknowledged the contribution of the RSS from the Red Fort itself. Within this lies a pattern. The BJP is undergoing a change of sorts, trying to reconnect with grassroots workers and core voter bases. Across the country, it is conducting elections to choose its state presidents. This process will be followed by the long-delayed election of a national president for the party. As per some political commentators, the Sangh Parivar is looking to ensure that it has a bigger say in these new appointments. With some questions about the RSS's future leadership itself, given Mohan Bhagwat's age and the rising influence of Dattatreya Hosable, CP Radhakrishnan's nomination for the vice president's post looks like an extension of the same formula.
ये तो अटकलें तो समय समय पर लगाए ही जाते रहते हैं। जब और कुछ मुद्दा नहीं मिला तो आरएसएस को चित्र पर लाया जाता है, पिक्चर पर लाया जाता है, कहा जाता है कि आरएसएस और बीजेपी के बीच में तनाव नहीं है। हम आपसी एक वैचारिक परिवार के नेता आपसी संबंध रखते हैं और उसमें किसी प्रकार का कभी उतार चढ़ाव तनाव कभी नहीं होता है।